Then we got the ROH world title match: Chris Jericho versus Bandido, a match made for Rich Latta's heart and soul. Um,
This match was awesome. Okay, so half the time I don't see when you zoom in. Or when you get closer, I had looked down at my phone and I already know what's going to happen. So go ahead. I'm getting out the way. I'm muting my mic. Go ahead.
I put up a post in February of this year, a clip that you folks may have seen once or twice, where I tell you to never count out Chris Jericho. Did I know 100% that I was going to be vindicated? Yes, I did know that, because I never count out Chris Jericho. And the fact that so many of you people, you peons that jump on Twitter and urge this man to lay it down and retire, and you see him showing up month after month, feud after feud, being phenomenal, promo after promo, gimmick after gimmick, pay-per-view after pay-per-view, with one small misstep, I'll admit that. But he immediately got it back on television. What more does he have to prove when he's in there taking Bandido's 21 plex, when he's getting the moonsault suplex off the top rope? Chris fucking Jericho is a legitimate Wrestler of the Year contender, and I could not be happier, because Chris Jericho has just passed his 32nd year in the business. Yesterday, I believe. 32 years. There were people, James, that were wondering if Chris Jericho would be able to take all the moves, right, from Bandido. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that someone that became a main eventer in CMLL in 1993 would be able to take the moves and do the Lucha Libre. I'm pretty sure that he can do it still, as he just authors feud after feud and then basically comes up with cool gimmick after cool gimmick to do. He's running through, or he's planning to run through, all the former ROH champions. Chris Jericho, bro, who's fucking with him? I don't know. I don't know. This match was awesome. This was like I talked about earlier in the year. I was like, yo, this is like the Jericho that started in 1996, and this is the culmination of it. And here it was, Jericho fighting a Mexican with and basically, doing it the way he used to fight against Ultimo Dragon and Psychosis and Rey Mysterio Jr. And what is it here? He's wrestling against Bandido. It looks at home. It looks familiar. I don't know when he's going to lay it down. Quite frankly, I don't care. Chris Jericho's given us more than enough. But before he does lay it down, you motherfuckers are going to appreciate Chris Jericho if it's the last thing I accomplish on this damn show. Fuck. Chris fucking Jericho. And Bandido was phenomenal. Sign that man.
All right. And that's why I take it off mute. Bandido, look, it's one of the worst kept secrets that this dude's fucking awesome. And like, he's awesome in that way that we're like, yes, he does all of, the 21 plex. He does the, I forgot what his knee is called, but it's like a variation of a go to sleep that he does. Obviously he's mentioned, like, like the moonsaults plex or whatever else. Like, he does tons of stuff, right? But like, it's been a terrible secret. There's like, for like the last 4 years, he's been fucking awesome. At different spots, and like, he was in Ring of Honor, and he was having really good matches too, and all that kind of stuff. But it's just like, the dude is so crazy talented, and he's also like one of those dudes. Like, when I think of Cesaro, or I think of Tyler Bate, where just like, regardless of what you feel about what you like out of pro wrestling. There is just a visceral like delight of somebody being strong as fuck in pro wrestling. Like when you are a certain size and you are lifting people or doing feats of strength or whatever else in pro wrestling, it never doesn't fucking work. Have you seen somebody, whether it's Lex Luger,
The British Bulldog.
British Bulldog doing the military press with Shawn Michaels, Goldberg doing like the military press, spine buster, like the airplane spin that Bate did to Walter back when Walter was 300 pounds. The Cesaro body slamming fucking Big Show at WrestleMania 30 in the first Andre in launch position over the top rope. Hogan Andre with that shitty looking body slam. It always works. Somebody being strong as fuck, completing a feat of strength. It always works, always. And like when you have the quote unquote strong man in the ring, and they're like as talented as Bandido, it's just a different feeling. And like Jericho let that dude do all his spots. And what do you know? He got over like crazy. He came in. A lot of people did not know who he was, obviously, because of he hasn't had much high profile stuff outside of Ring of Honor in America. Like, but me and you were in this
early arrivers.
Yeah, 2019 Washington versus Ospreay at the WrestleCon Memorial Show.
2018 at the first time I saw him. 2018 WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans. That was a show that you missed. It was him and Flamita.
Yeah. You told me about this. They were throwing money in the ring, right?
They was throwing money in the ring. That was the first time I ever saw Bandido. I was like,
I ended up missing that because I was so tired.
Yeah,
we're saying let you know how tired I was. I didn't stay up
so to watch that shit. Or it was Ray Phoenix and Ray Horse, I believe, against Bandido and Flamita, and it was like out of this world, 5 stars, like one of the best matches I've ever seen in person. Like, and it's been a long time. Like, and you think about Bandido, and he's as much in this company's DNA as anybody. That man was in the main event of All In. He took the pinfall in the main event of All In. Right. So like, he should have been here, and I hope that he ends up there or whatever. But it's like, it was just a phenomenal match for both sides, and it was just like Jericho didn't have to do that. Like,
nope,
he could have
absolutely not.
Like, completely, like, just all right, we'll go 10 minutes and get him out of here. Jews effect, fuck him. Like,
check this out. So you just said 50. You just said 32 years, right? 32 years is biz for Jericho.
Yep.
You know what year was for Flair at 32?
32 years in the business. That would be like 1994. No, excuse me, 2004. Excuse me,
2004. Do you think Ric Flair? Now, keep in mind, Ric Flair was still fucking good in 2004. I'm not, but like, he's not taking the 21-plex on his fucking dome piece on the back of his neck. He's not going to sign up for the moonsaulting for the whatever Rick Steiner called it off top rope, or Scott Steiner called it, like the moonsault plex thing. Like, he's not going for that. Like, he gave that man a lot for a dude that is in his 50s, a dude that has done a lot of wild shit throughout the years or whatever else, and like, I think it's just a testament to like the shape that Jericho has got himself into at the end of last year / beginning of this year, when he showed up and him and Hager were like just totally different people transforming their bodies. And like, this is a renaissance thanks to obviously he had a health thing or whatever else, and they told him he had to lose a whole bunch of weight, but like, he just, and like, it looked bad at the end of the last year, where like it was like he may have been wrapping up, and like, he made a joke about founding youth, but like, this thing has birthed him, a second, I can't say second, that'd be whatever number this would be, like another like great run of him, because he's had at this point like half a dozen. But you know what I'm saying, like, it's amazing. And like, Bandido, like with Bandido and Dragon Lee a few weeks ago, and Roosh coming in,
this is the most talented lucha roster since the WCW cruiserweights, and like
Dude.
I think there's a higher level here than the cruiserweights had.
Because they're allowed to do more.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine like what they would have reacted with if like they had told if they had seen some of the stuff that like Phoenix does now, and they'd be like, "Nah, you can't do that. Nah. Like you only do stuff Ray can do. That's as far as we going." But like anyway, like they are just. I love it. I love like these dudes that we know are fucking incredible, but they're working Mexican indies. The Bandido's worked a shit ton of Mexican indies over the years, and like, come on in, let's do your thing. And it's one thing where like you're in person, you've seen them have these matches. One thing when you like see the gifts, like the crazy shit that like Vikingo does every weekend. But it's another thing where it's like they're actually in the building, and like they're in there with a actual, a legend, and the legend saying, "Go nuts, kid." Like, we hear about that stuff. Like, I remember you telling me about there was a documentary about Seth Rollins, about how he had the indie match with AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that match like changed the trajectory of his confidence and all that kind of stuff, that he could be able to get in there with someone that level and like be able to do so many things. And it's like Bandido's already one of the best wrestlers in the world, but like now, who knows what? And like he's somebody that like has been so under the radar for so long, regardless of how good he is, that it's like even
he's set up to make so much fucking money. Like, bro, like when you think about whatever his contract situation will be, whenever someone starts selling those fucking Bandido masks, the fucking bandit shit, like the fucking hats, like if they ever send him and Hangman Page out there together, like as both, like that shit would go off.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Like, man, I hope TK gets his name on the dotted line. So yeah.
But I'm happy for him because like dudes now, like I bet he feels like he's on cloud 20 just like after that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so that it was a really cool